Op Hemelvaartsdag op een hele mooie circuit. Quintalooien. Ook daar willen wij natuurlijk graag uitnodigen.
Hello everybody and welcome to our second live studio show on MXGP TV of the season. We're here at the Euro Circuit Valkenswaard in the Netherlands for the MXGP of Europe. And joining myself and the lovely Lisa Leyland here today, we have Jorge Prado, Julien Lieber and Erik Eggens. But before we meet our first guests, Lisa Leyland, great to see you again. We've had a slight break. Welcome back to Europe. It's glorious out there, isn't it?
Almost bikini weather. Not quite, though.
Almost.
Almost. Yeah.
Jorge brought his sun cream. He's ready to go. But busy weekend.
Yep.
You can probably hear guys out on the track at the moment. That's the last chance qualifying race for the 125 EMX. And we've also got 300 EMX as well, presented by FMF Racing.
That's the thing. Having the Europeans back in the paddock, you got that extra buzz and so much more atmosphere, isn't it? So it's really it's a lot going on this weekend, but all good. Yeah.
Well, here we are in our MXGP TV studio. You might have seen it's had a bit of a makeover. Look, we've got monitors behind us. We've got a wonderful brand new table, the logo and everything else, more space, more lighting. Yeah, it's all we're all good to go here. We've stepped it up a level. And talking of stepping it up, our first guest, Jorge Prado, expects to step it up a little bit this year as well. Red Bull KTM Factory Racing, Jorge Prado. Welcome to our studio show here, the second one of the year. But for you, the same team, same class, but different awning. How is it working with Claudio de Cali and Tony Cairoli?
Well, this year I moved to Italy, so I did my winter preparation there, and yeah, it's a bit different. Claudio's taking care about everything, not only the bike, but physically and everything I'm doing. Just he likes to know what I'm doing the whole time, so that's really good to keep myself, in a good line. And I think, we did really good preparation. I feel pretty strong this year. And, it's a bit different, but at the end, it's the KTM family. And when we are in the paddock, it's all the same.
Okay.
So.
Well, look, in Patagonia a couple of weeks ago, I guess a lot of people expected quite a bit from you. But you had a slight elbow injury coming into it.
Yeah.
How was it? And, when did you pick up that injury?
Well, in December, just 24th.
Yeah.
I had a small crash, just playing around with the bike, and I broke my elbow. So I started riding 2 weeks before Argentina. So quite tight for the race, but I did a really good preparation physically, and that helped me a lot. Once I got in the bike, I was just feeling good, and in Argentina I was feeling good. So I don't have any problem with the elbow. Just after the crash in the qualifying race, I hit again the same elbow, so it was a bit painful on Sunday. I had to go and check it on Saturday, but it was all right. Now I'm feeling good, so I'm happy.
So it didn't make it any worse or anything after the
qualifying
No,
it was
crash.
Just in a different place.
Yeah.
Right.
So
we have the clip actually from the qualifying crash. You remember it? Remember what happened?
Yeah, I was behind Jonas, and I just opened the throttle like full gas, like every lap.
Yeah.
Just in the bump before, and I remember just going straight, but suddenly I think I touched one rut with the back wheel or something and lost, just there at the moment. And I mean, I couldn't do anything. Once the bike went sideways, I tried to hold it. As you can see, I even fall almost with the bike, but
in some ways, it was better that the back wheel kept coming around because sometimes it can go in and high side.
And I was lucky; it was just in the last one, so I crashed and I rolled the last wave, so I didn't hit anything, just roll and hit my arm. But if I hit the wave straight, then would be way worse. For sure.
Overall, in Argentina, you had a tough weekend, didn't you? I mean, you had the crash in the qualifying race and then the incident with Calvin in race 1. It seemed like wherever there was trouble, you seemed to find it. What's your take on what happened with Calvin in that first race?
Again, we have some footage here from the GoPro.
Oh, yeah? I didn't see that crash. Look.
From the 26-minute highlight, straight down the inside.
Oh, no.
I mean, you could, if you see,
we do.
Like, my leg was...
Yes.
I couldn't...
In the rear wheel.
Couldn't... there.
I mean, was it a hard hit? Or was it just he just took the front wheel?
No, it was really hard. Yeah. I mean, my finger and everything was completely, damaged, and I got hurt. But as you can see, stand up again, keep racing. On his bike, just... I just need to get on the bike.
Yeah, it didn't matter which one. Brilliant. I'll just stand on his bike before I get on my bike. But that's what we call gamesmanship in England, where you just do anything to get on ahead of the guy.
Yeah, sure. You think about that, but at the end, once I crashed with him, okay, it was painful, and suddenly you realize, okay, you crashed, the group, it's already in the front, and you need to work yourself to get in front again, which is difficult in that kind of track where everybody's going same speed. But I mean, I did my best.
Yeah. Well, look, you've had 2 weeks to recover because, as you said, you weren't on the bike too long before Patagonia. Yeah. Riding with a slightly injured elbow, slightly damaged again after the crash and a finger, but 2 weeks to recover. Are you 100% now or close to 100%, would you say?
I mean, for sure, halfway this season I will get better. I mean, not only speed, but physically, and I will just get better. And we are now starting the season, so I'm already in a good place, but for sure there's place for improvement.
Yeah.
Last year, Jorge, you won 3 GPs. Yep. What's the goal for 2018? Is it top 5, top 3, or are you aiming for that world title?
Just win 4 GPs, one more.
One more.
No.
Realistic?
No, I think my goal is to try to be in the top 5 every race, because that's really important. When you look to the points, the top 5 guys get so many points, and that's a place to be. So I think this year I have everything to be there. Okay, in Argentina I had these problems, and I did the best I could with the crash on Saturday, crash on Sunday, and just small mistakes and bad luck. And just try to stay in the top 5. Yeah, will be okay for me.
Okay, great. Well, we have some questions for you on social media.
Yeah.
The first one's from Oscar MM93, and he says, "How did you feel when you won your first World Championship race?" And if you can answer that in Spanish and in English.
Yeah, because I think he's from Spain.
Ah, cool.
So the first question in English first of all.
So I remember winning because I was second and first in the motos. I won the second moto, and that gave me the overall. And I just jumped the finish line, and I was feeling like, I don't know, so relaxed. And it's a feeling that you can't explain. Like, I like so much motocross, and we work so hard to just win a race or whatever. Yeah. And it was a great moment. I mean, I felt so good on the podium. It was emotional, and it was good.
And in Spanish?
En Spanish, okay. Bueno, pues ganar el primer gran premio es siempre muy emocional. Todo el trabajo hecho todos estos años, pues tiene su recompensa, y es un sentimiento que es imposible de explicar. Te sientes genial.
Okay.
Okay, great.
One more real quick.
Okay, one more from MX Justin, and he says, "What are you learning from TC222 apart from drinking coffee and eating loads of pasta?"
Yeah, that's true. I mean,
does he really eat that much pasta?
Tony.
Yeah.
Every day for lunch, dinner, pasta.
Yeah. Washed down with coffee.
Carbonara, matriciana. Okay, pasta. Doesn't matter what, but pasta. And coffee, I mean, before I never taste coffee before moving to Italy. And then it was this day I was so tired, and my mechanic Davide, the Cali, he asked me, "Come on, you should drink this, and it will give you so much power to keep going." And I'm like, I mean, I don't like it. And he said, "Try." So I just tried, and I was feeling so good, and the taste. And now, I mean, I'm drinking coffee every day, espresso every day. And I'm training physically, not always with Tony, but on the bike we are every day together. So it's good because, I mean, he's the fastest one, and you have, if he's going good, then you need to try to get close to him, of course. Yeah, try to improve. And he does things that sometimes I didn't even think about. I mean, lines that I'm like, it's not working, but when you go on the time, it's working, and then you're like, okay, let's try. And I mean, things that riding alone, like I was doing last year, just going to the track and do your training.
Sure.
I mean, it's difficult to see all these things, and with him, it's good, and he's a good guy. So we are always having so much fun. makes it more easy.
Yeah.
All right.
Makes
Well,
it so much more easy.
we are out of time with you, Jorge, but all the best to Jorge Prado and his Red Bull KTM team this weekend here in Valkenswaard. Our next guest, Julien Lieber, is waiting to speak to us now. And before we meet him, though, here's some highlights from MX2 Race 2 from the MXGP of Patagonia 2 weeks ago. Enjoy. As the gate dropped for MX2 Race 2, all eyes were on Pauls Jonas. Could he make it a sensational double here? Stephen Rabini was well placed, but look how lucky Prado was. A double wheel slide into the first turn, both legs off the pegs, but he did survive inside the top 15. But it was Davy Puchis who grabbed the foxhole shot, but he didn't stay up front for long. Jonas was already up front and pulling away. Thomas Cairoli found a move past his number 64 teammate, Thomas Covington. That put him up further towards the front. He was in third at that moment. Meanwhile, Calvin Verlandren was also on the charge, found his way past Covington as well. And that put him in touching distance with the leaders, but he still had a lot of work to do. Sinai found his way around the outside of Porches to go into third, as Hunter Lawrence repeated the move a lap or so later, and he was now in fourth place on that Honda 114 Motorsports machine. Ben Watson timed his run to perfection to push the Dutch rider back. That put him into fifth. What was a sensational ride for the young Brit. But Jonas was unstoppable in Patagonia. So too was Ben Watson, it seemed. Lawrence seeming to fade in the heat in the second moto. Maybe a few mistakes starting to creep into his game, but that pass put Watson into fourth as Prado circulated just inside the top 8. He eventually came home in seventh. A great ride for Jed Beaton as well. That pass on Prado put him into seventh briefly, but Prado would find his way back past on the final lap. And on the final lap, another story was starting to unfold. The HRC Honda of Calvin Verlandren nudged past the satellite team Honda of Lawrence, and that meant Verlandren got himself into fifth. He just ran out of time in the final turn to take Watson for fourth. Watson did manage to hang on, but the win went to Jonas with Olsen Sinai. And the overall Grand Prix looked like this. Pauls Jonas, Thomas Cairoli, and Hunter Lawrence. Ben Watson just missing out in fourth. Jed Beaton, a great start to the season for F&H Kawasaki in fifth. Of course, the overall the same as the championship classification. But Pauls Jonas will head to Valkenswaard round 2 of the FIM Motocross World Championship with the championship leaders red plate still on the front of that KTM. Well, that was 2 weeks ago. That was the opening round in Patagonia. But here we are back at Valkenswaard, round 2, the MXGP of Europe. Julien Lieber, Monster Energy Kawasaki Racing Team, joins us now. And it's been a quiet winter for you, hasn't it? What? New team, new bike, new class. Yeah. You didn't change so many things over the winter.
Yeah, a lot. But, yeah, winter been really short for me. So I couldn't make a lot of testing with the bike and with the team. So only a few weeks on the bike, but first GP went well, so I was really surprised with that, and now we are working to be better every time, and let's see.
Yeah. I mean, you just touched upon it then. You didn't have much time on the bike. The toughest thing about the change was your knee injury, wasn't it? I mean, how tough was that over the winter?
It was pretty tough because everything had to go pretty fast with the recovery, so it wasn't easy, but I did my best, and I had to start quite early also with my knee to ride, to have that the 4 weeks riding with the bike. So but it went well, and now sometimes I still feel it a little bit with my knee, but not on the bike, so that's a good thing, and I really enjoy to ride with my bike now.
With just 4 weeks on the bike, was it tough to adapt to the 450?
Yeah, first I started with the standard bike easy 1 week, because otherwise it was too much. And then I started on the race bike, and that was quite tough, to adapt. And we had to make also some testing with suspension, everything, and I had not a lot of riding, so...
yeah, you have to be 100%, don't you?
Yeah, normally, yes. So still now we have to test during the season and try our best and improve every time we go on the bike.
All right. Well, look, more from Julien in just a moment. Do you want to know how you can get your hands on some goodies this weekend? Also with Twin Air, take a look at this. We have a like and share contest in association with Twin Air, proud sponsor of Jeffrey Herlings, who's joined forces with MXGP this weekend for a Facebook like and share competition. All you have to do is like and share this visual posted on our Facebook page for a chance to win. Prizes include a Twin Air Powerflow kit, MXGP TV season pass, and a copy of MXGP3, the official motocross video game. So go to our website now for more information, and good luck. We will announce the winner on Tuesday, I believe.
Okay, well, let's talk about Argentina, Julien. Despite your limited time on the bike, Patagonia actually went okay for you, didn't it? Especially race 1. Did it feel good to be up front?
Yeah, for sure. First laps were really great behind Tony, and it was going good, and I could follow him for 2 laps, I think, and then the guys behind me start to pass me, and I didn't try to block them too much because I knew it would be difficult to do the whole race at this pace, and I just try to let pass the first few best guys, and then I try to follow and do the finish at the best I can.
How was the track? How was the track condition?
Good.
Yeah.
It was nice. Just nothing to say. Good conditions. Weather was good to start, with the sun, everything. So. But no, it was really fun. Just with the 450, it's fast. So
yeah. But obviously, good solid ride in the first race. The second one though was a little different. Had a lot of work to do.
Yeah.
We have the footage, I think. Yeah, here we go. Just talk us through this. But were you happy with the way you rode in the second race as well? Because you came through
I was happy. Just there that mistake on the start. You can see I lost just the front, and we crashed with a few riders.
Oh, so it was you that crashed first, then Max, then Tommy?
Yeah, I just lost the front into the corner. There both. And we had to start from behind, and I think I had Max behind me, Tommy also, and they couldn't pass me. So they're quite normally good riders, and I came back 12th, and it was good. Yeah,
and you were pleased with the way you rode? The fitness was good, everything else?
Yeah, just I was a little bit stressed with, I still have a little bit arm pump. Also, like here today, I struggle a bit in the practice, but every time I ride, it's going better, and also the second day I ride is always better. So. Tomorrow should be good.
Good.
Yeah. Okay, well, we have a question on social media for you. This one's from Joe Gordon 99, and he says, have you had to change your riding technique to suit the 450? And has the style tried to get you to lower your handlebars right down?
He is the team leader.
No, he didn't try.
No?
Not yet.
Okay.
No.
But did you have to change your technique?
Not really, no. Because I already rode 450 in the past when I was riding Suzuki, and I knew it would be good, and I had a lot of fun on that bike, so I don't have really to change the technique. It comes normally, and you just try to adapt and adapt the bike to you. And
just maybe with the gear change is a little bit different. The 250 maybe you hold longer, or
the 250 you have to ride more in RPM than on 450, and it's completely different. But I really like that kind of bike.
And just really quickly, we had snow this morning, we had rain yesterday. How heavy were the track conditions here at Valkenswaard?
No, now it was quite heavy, but I think it's going to be better every time they ride on the track, and should be good for the races. I hope it's not going to be too cold in the night for tomorrow, and that gets frozen, so we will see.
All right. Well, look, we are out of time with Julien Lieber, Monster Energy Kawasaki Racing Team. We'll meet our third and final guest in a couple of moments. But before we do, here is some of the highlights from MXGP of Patagonia, MXGP Race 2. The second race for MXGP, and Tony Cairoli once again the quickest out of the blocks. And he pulled a second foxhole shot of the weekend. Max Anstey, though, wasn't so lucky. He went down and took with him Julien Lieber and Tommy Searle. Herlings was about 6th or 7th going around the first couple of corners, but once again a clear track for Tony Cairoli as De Salle, Van Horbik, Fevre and Herlings gave chase. Gauthier Paulin not too far behind on his Rockstar Energy Husqvarna, was in 6th place. Herlings, though, started to make the moves. He went around the outside of Fevre and then quickly went after Jeremy Van Horbik. And when he made that pass, it was for third. Just 2 more riders stood in his way. Tony Cairoli and Clément de Sal. Jeremy Seewer had a big crash. He was in 7th position. He went down hard. He would not finish the race. The Wilbo Yamaha rider will hope to be on the grid in Holland in 2 weeks' time. Jeffrey Herlings, though, made the move of the race here, and it was a key moment for him. He found his way around the outside of Jeremy Van Horbik in a place that he maybe shouldn't have, and that opened the door for his whole entire race. He was able to close down Clément de Sal on the 25. Another aggressive move around the outside. Made the Belgian think twice about whether he had to turn tight or go wide. And all of a sudden, Herlings had clear track. The downside was he had 9 seconds to make up in the final 9 laps of the race. And for 3 of those, he wasn't making any inroads. But guess what? The gap started to come down. And on the final lap, Herlings got alongside Tony Cairoli, who was just starting to make 1 or 2 mistakes. The bullet went the long way round of the 222. He had the advantage into the next left, and that was the pass for the lead with about 3/4 of a lap to go of this second MXGP race. Cairoli didn't have an answer, and it was Jeffrey Herlings who sped towards the finish line. And what he couldn't do in race 1, he made sure of in race 2. It was a victory in the moto for Jeffrey Herlings from Tony Cairoli and Clément de Sal, and it also meant that Herlings was victorious at this first Grand Prix here in Patagonia, Argentina. Cairoli was second, de Sal was third. Good solid start for those 3 guys, and also the 2 Yamahas of Van Horbik and Fevre. Paul and Simpson weren't far behind either. Everyone will be looking forward to going to Valkenswaard, especially this guy, Jeffrey Herlings, who goes there with the red plate fixed to the front of his Red Bull KTM. And that is the first time that Jeffrey Herlings has held a red plate since his MX2 days, the final GP of 2016 at Glen Helen. So he arrives here for the first time with it fixed to the front of that 450 KTM. Third and final guest here this weekend is Erik Eggens, former racer, but now, Yamaha Motor Europe motocross manager for the off-road side, the motocross side. Erik Eggens, welcome to our studio show here at Valkenswaard. And it's a place you know very well. You won here in 2001 in the 125 division, and by my reckoning, you were the 19th winner here. So you know what it's like to stand on top of the podium, not just here, but your home GP. You have some good memories?
Yeah, for sure. Thank you, Paul. It's always good to come here. You know, that feeling on Friday morning to arrive here, the Dutch fans, obviously I'm from Holland, so yeah. It's always a good place to be. Now it's a bit special with the weather conditions, but no, it's great to be here, and of course I think I checked some days ago, and I think I was even the last winner before Jeffrey, you know, had his great.
And the only one before you was Davy Strybos in '85. So there's not been too many.
It's good, and it was my first one. I won 3 GPs, and the first one is always a great one to remember. So sure. Yeah, it's nice.
Good. Well, look. Quite a bit to get through here. Last night, Yamaha ran not a launch as such, more of the 65. They have a brand new YZ65, so there was a pre-event launch kind of thing with a new model and a new team of riders that are going to be riding it for you. How important is this YZ65 for you and for Yamaha as a new product?
It's very important. I think we all know that we have one of the greatest bikes to start, the PW50. But from there, yeah, there was a gap. If you want to go racing, now we luckily have the YZ65 coming in May. So yeah, this is a great product where we believe, you know, the structure is all there to go from really the start, you know, towards the MXGP class. Yeah. And now with the team in place, with a professional team, good environment to keep fun, you know, because this is important for us. We want to grant that the kids have fun. They really can develop as a kid with their family inside, we could say, a familiar family team.
Sure.
That in the end is great to present.
Yeah, absolutely. And moving to the bigger bikes, this year will be the 3rd year of the YZ125 Cup. I think I read somewhere there was close to 100 riders registered for this. Is that true?
Yeah, the 3rd year is obviously every year we're increasing under the Blue Crew umbrella, we could say. And now with the 65, this program will get more strong. It's for the younger riders, we could say, a platform to really grow into a professional and a nice future within Yamaha, hopefully, because the 125 Cup and obviously here our MGC guys. So the Cup winner. Is automatically becoming one of the MGC official riders. So this year is a fantastic year again, where we will have our final at the MXGP in Imola, almost at the end of the season, and then again, for next year there will be the winner after. So the top 5 of 5 riders after this cup in Imola will go to a masterclass, and one will be picked, obviously, to get that spot inside. So it's really a platform where we try to develop. And in the end, also make it more easy and more smooth to enter this nice sport.
As you just mentioned, the winning prize would be an EMX 125 contract for 2019. Just tell us, how important is the 125 class for you and for Yamaha?
It's very important. We have luckily understood. Japan has understood that the two-stroke is still very important. At the time where it was more going into four-stroke, we have kept two-stroke alive, and it took some years to really be stable. And after that, we have developed, and this is again a very good example how we developed now with the 65, 85, and then of course the 125, where the 125 is still really important because that step from 85 to 254 stroke, obviously going into MXGP, is big. And I think not many riders are able to jump immediately from 85 two-stroke to 254 stroke. So this 125 is important. It is nice because the riders get to learn more how to ride, and also the family can take care of maintenance, and this is important to continue.
All right, well, look, we are close to running out of time, so really quickly, Patagonia 2 weeks ago. Good solid start for Roman and Jeremy, 4th and 5th overall in the championship. Good solid start. Got to be pleased with the way that things went in Argentina. Yeah, we are. MX2 and MXGP. Yeah. Well, obviously MXGP here. I mean, you can talk a little bit more, but here we're talking about Roman and Jeremy. It's important for these guys to get off to that good start. You've got it. Obviously, it could be a level playing field here this weekend. But what about in the MX2 category as well then, with Ben Watson, the Khmer team, 3 new riders in the squad this year. Got to be pleased with the way that Ben Watson rode as well.
Yeah, for sure. We are very pleased, not only with Ben, but also with Jago. 17-year-old and really doing well. But of course also with Ben. It is going in the right direction. We're not there, but I think the start of the season has been great. And very close to that podium already, so this is very good. Also, Seva Brilyakov did a great job because he missed most of last season, and then to come back with 2 9s and then 6th for overall, showed some stability, and this is what we're looking for.
Absolutely.
Got one social media question for just in time for one.
Okay, yep, so this one's from Mikhail Soderberg, and he says, you won this GP in 2001. Do you think the speed is higher today compared to back then when you won?
With the big bikes, I guess.
Yeah, I think so. I think it is higher, but then when you watch Strybos winning his GP here, let's say the last winner before me, I was impressed about the speed. So I don't really know exactly, but feeling is speed is going up because products are getting better, riders are getting better physical shape. So it's a development, but I think at that time it was also quite quick.
Yeah, and also bikes at the time of the conditions and everything else. Yeah. Okay, well, look, Erik Eggens, thanks for joining us here today. Also, thank you to our other guests, Jorge Prado and Julien Lieber. We are at a time here. We'll see you again at Red Sand in Spain in a week's time. So thank you to Lisa as well. But of course, all the action coming up on MXGP TV today. Qualifying a little later on at 4:25 Central European time for MX2 and MXGP at 7:10, and everything live on MXGP TV tomorrow as well. Until next week, thanks for watching. See you then. Bye for now.